That's my best friend. That's my best friend.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Dave Mo. Dave Mo Flips, Money Talk, always about Team Us. You already know the deal and how we get down over here. So if you watched my last video, I'm sure you're like, this guy, because this channel is geared towards, making money flipping cars, really and truly, right? So the last video I put out was really for the, the citizen, if you will, right? Telling them, you can make a lot more money selling the car private versus trading it in, etc., etc. This is going to be the flip side of that. As a matter of fact, if you read the comments, I had gotten a comment from, I hope, what was a subscriber. And speaking of subscriber, if you guys don't mind, if it's your first time coming to the channel, welcome. Please hit that subscribe button, ring that bell or hit that like, whatever. Listen, you guys know the whole spiel about this YouTube thing, right? Helps me out, helps out the algorithm. You've heard it from a million other YouTubers. Apparently it's true. So, going to do the best I can to put out as much content as I can, specifically surrounding cars. But I'm recently getting into something else, trading options or buying and selling options. A good friend of mine got me into it a few days ago, and I've been doing the best I can to study and learn. And I'm going to throw some money at it and see what happens. But that's neither here nor there. But the progress or not progress will come to the channel. Excuse me for a moment, please. So, with that being said, the comment was, I think it was Carvana or Vroom, either or, had offered a client of theirs, I think it was a 2011 Subaru with 50,000 miles, Subaru Forester. And they said that they offered good money for it, upwards of 10 grand. So I quickly did a search in my area, which is Tampa, Florida, and I seen that for $10,000, you're looking at 2011 Subaru Foresters. And again, you can read the comments to get the exact year and stuff like that. But you were looking at them with about 120,000 miles going for about 10 grand. So I said, yeah, that's great. The guy got $10,000 for their car, quick and easy. But again, you probably could have pulled out 13.5 if they lived in Tampa, which would have put an extra $3,000 to $3,500. I apologize, my girl just left, so my dog goes crazy when she leaves, man. Like, it's the craziest thing ever. Anyway, back to the moral of the story. That individual could have came off with an extra $3,000 to $4,000, let's just say, right? It's not for everybody. And if you watched the last video, I clearly made that, I tried to make that as clear as possible. Not everyone can sell stuff. Not everyone has it in them to deal with tire kickers and the no-shows and everything else. An individual like myself that buys and sells cars, I deal with it all the time. But on the same token, I have a home with a 2-car garage. So if I was to go and buy a new car and I had a car that I was going to sell or trade in, it's nothing for me to put it in my driveway or leave it in the garage and continuously run ads for a month and eventually get the dollar amount over what I was getting on trade, right? Because that's always the key. Because if they're going to offer you X for trade and you get more than X on a private sale, then that difference is money that you've made. And that was the only thing I was trying to get across on that video. Now, let's get into the way we need to be doing it, okay? Real talk, money talks, that's the only shit that comes down to it, all right? Put your money where your mouth is, get your bread right, and make money. It's no secret. In this world, money comes to money. The rich get richer because they have money to put in the street or whatever you want to call it. But they put it out there and then they make money on that money. It's called profit, and their accounts continue to grow. It's no secret. If you don't have money, you cannot invest in anything to resell. If you don't have money, you can't buy stocks. If you don't have money, you can't rent out houses. The key to this game is making money. The key to this is having a mentality that when you get a little bit of bread, you don't go out and spend it all foolishly, okay? Stop living your life looking at liabilities. Start living your life looking at assets, okay? My daughter, my girlfriend's daughter, she's my daughter. She's 16 years old. She just got her first job. She dislikes it because, let's be honest, how many people actually enjoy going to work for somebody, especially as a first job? You ain't making no money. But luckily enough, she's got no bills, right? I take care of the phone bill, I take care of the house, the food, or we do, right? Etc., etc. Whatever. I don't care. The point is, she's got no bills. So all that money is profit. So she's been with me for about 2 or 3 years, and over that course of time, she's seen some cars, she's seen some mobile homes, she's looked at some houses with me, and, I've tried to teach her the way to do it. My son is 12. He does not have a job. He wants a job, but he's got some money in his savings account because for Christmas this year, while we did get him some gifts, a large chunk of their Christmas money, of their Christmas gift money, if you will, went into their bank accounts so this way they can learn how to manage money. So she's getting to a point now where she's got some income coming into her, and she's going to hopefully start looking at life less like a liability and more like an asset, okay? Now, my son, on the other hand, that is a money-hungry boy, but he enjoys spending money. I had noticed, because again, it's their money, and I don't necessarily monitor what they're doing with their money, as long as it's like online purchases or in-store purchases. If I happen to notice there's like $20 taken out from an ATM, I'm going to ask, like, yo, where did this $20 come from? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to be aware of your kids and what they're doing on the outside in terms of drugs or alcohol or anything like that. Anyway, we were in the car the other day, we were driving, we had to go to Home Depot, and we went to the clearance rack. So he didn't really do anything with that until we got into the car, and he was thinking about maybe doing a landscaping company. The kid's never pushed a lawnmower a day in his life, so I said he should practice here first, learn how to weed whack, learn how to blow, learn how to mow, all this other kind of nonsense. But we got into retail, Airbnb, Airbnb, whatever. When you buy and sell, I don't know the correct terminology for that, and his eyes lit up. Now, I am a polo fiend. I love Ralph Lauren like there is no tomorrow. Unfortunately for me, I'm in a position where I can afford to go to Ralph Lauren, and I always try to buy new clothes. I like my clothes to be clean and crisp. Not for when I'm shooting. It's funny, not when I'm shooting every video, because a lot of times I'm shooting these videos and I'm going to go work on a car like I am today. So I managed to, hey, relax yourself. She'll be back. So I managed to give him a bunch of my old clothing. Like, a lot of it still had tags, because when my house had flooded, a lot of those clothes, they didn't get damaged, but they got damaged. So they ended up, I said, here, you could put it on eBay or whatever. So now he's going to start to try to do that business. But back to you and I apologize. That took probably 5 minutes. So hopefully I didn't bore you guys too much. For those of you that have kids, hopefully you're doing the right thing and teaching them not to spend their money on liabilities, but look more towards assets. There's always a small amount of money that you're going to spend on fun stuff, but a large chunk of your money should really be spent on making more money, okay? And that should be taught at a very young age, because what ends up happening is you'll end up being like me, getting on later in life, having a lot of money, but never knowing how to invest it. In fact, I blew thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to look cool on the block. Avirexes, Sherlins, Jordans, Air Force Ones, Timberlands, Red Monkey, NYC, you name it, I had it. And all that, and this is before social media, all that was just to look fresh on the block. 6 cars. Like, looking back, none of that stuff made sense. But let's get into the video. I apologize. You know my ADHD is crazy these days. Here's the deal. Here is the deal. Start running your ads, okay? You cannot sell what you don't have. Auctions are getting harder to buy. Facebook is getting harder to buy. Craigslist is getting harder to buy. Excuse me. Get rid of the mentality that what you paid for a car last year is going to be what you paid for it this year. That's out. That's gone. If you can't roll with the punches and understand that the game has changed and what you spent last year was a sale and you're going to spend more this year on that same car, you're out of the game. You already beat yourself. Get into another game. You know what I'm saying? Go start a power washing company. It might be better for you. If you're going to be in this game, what you paid last year and the year before is probably less than what you're going to pay this year for the same year car, which means it's aged a year or two. The mileage has gone up. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but wrap your head around it, okay? If it's going up at auction, that means it's going up on retail. All right. Look at any single car that you've looked at over the course of a year. They've all gone up. Are there still those gems that are hidden? Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. But more importantly than that, I did a video on this before and I encourage you to do it now. You are going to start to notice a lot of dealers are going to start putting a lot of money in this I will buy your car. CarMax was, I don't want to say they were the first to do it, but they were the most well known for it. We will buy any car, anytime, anywhere. Well, not anywhere because it had to be CarMax. So, you would bring your car to CarMax and they would lowball the shit out of you, right? They would lowball you like there's no tomorrow. That's the name of the game. You're going to start to see a lot more dealers taking up a lot more of that space, okay? And you need to be a part of it. Can you compete with CarMax? I don't know. I don't know your budget. You better have a crazy budget if you're going to compete with CarMax. Can you compete with Carvana? I don't know your budget again. You know, first of all, I don't even think Carvana is going to go out of business. I think they're going to make it right with the people they can make it right with in terms of getting them their titles. I think they're going to refund the ones that they can't. I think they're going to pay a hefty fine in the states that they messed up in. And I think they're going to continue to do better business this year. That's my thoughts on Carvana. I know there's another YouTuber out here that he loves like, oh my God, Carvana's going out of business. Bah, 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 bah. Come on, man. You think you think the investors that have that kind of money behind that company are just going to let it go out of business? They're going to clean house. They're going to get rid of the people that messed up on titles, probably get one corporate office or a corporate office in each state that handles all those types of issues, okay? And they're just going to be on top of it. Lesson learned. Coda, enough. Okay? And they're going to learn. Or they could just say, you know what, screw it, let's go bankrupt and open up a new Carvana. They're not going anywhere. They're a powerhouse. There's too much money invested. And if you think that they're just going to throw that money away, I don't even know what you're thinking. But anyway, so you're not going to compete with those guys, right? For the most part, we're not. But what you can compete with is continuing to run ads on Facebook. I will buy your car, any condition, anytime, cash or check. All right? Get something that tells them what you want to know. For the fastest offer on your car today, I can have you cash in hand in less than 1 hour. Okay? Here's what I need from you. Year, make, model, trim type, and make the trim type like, a lot of people don't know. A lot of people know year, make, model. Mileage. If you know the trim, perfect. Put it in there. If you have pictures, perfect. Add them. The more information you give me will be a more accurate price that I can give you on your vehicle. Better yet, why don't you just send me the VIN number and I will do everything from there. Okay? So now what you're going to do is you're running this ad on every outlet that you advertise on, okay? Now people are calling you, boom, 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 but you don't deal with junk cars, right? Again, I have a video about this last year. You don't like to buy junk cars because you can't tow cars or you don't want to deal with it, whatever. So now you call a person that buys junk cars and you say, hey, I'm running these ads. I buy running, driving cars, or I buy cars with running, driving, and blown motors. What I don't buy are junk cars, okay? Can you help me out? What should I look for? Number one, make sure it's got the catalytic converter. Huge thing there. But if you do decide to get into the scrapping car business as an add-on, which would be crazy not to, that you hook up with a place that buys catalytic converters and you get your salvage dismantler's license, which is not very difficult if you already have a retail dealer's license. And you actually might be able to use your dealer's license. It all just depends what state you're in, what you can do. So now you can cut the cats off, and some of these catalytic converters are going upwards of $800-900. You know, there's no secret that Toyota Priuses are the #1 catalytic converters that get stolen. Why don't you figure that one out, right? So I mean, a G35. I just did a G35 that had 2 cats on it, and I was paid just over $500 for both cats. And then I just went and I replaced them with whatever. Coda, stop. So with that being said, Coda, it annoys me so much. I know the dog is clean as paws, but it annoys me just to hear that licking. You hear that licking noise? It's driving me up a wall. Coda, come here. Get over here. So with that being said, you might want to look into that, all right? And then once you cut the cats out, most places aren't going to buy the car from you anymore, so you're going to sell it for weight. And then, you know, you'll figure out which cars are worth selling whole and which cars are worth taking the cats out. Taking cats out, nothing more than hitting it with a Sawzall and you're done. Again, not the point of the story, just throwing some extra money out there for you. So you call this individual up and you're like, hey, I'm getting a lot of calls for junk cars. If you can tell me how you price them, I'll price them out for you. Maybe we could work out a deal where you can sell me the cars that you have that are running and driving first. Give me first dibs on it, and I'll give you all my junk cars. Or you say to them, hey, throw me a $50 finder fee for finding you this junk car, right? And, you know, depending on how you negotiate it and everything else will work. But even if on the low end, if you were getting $50 for a referral fee, it's still $50 that you didn't have, right? Now, if you are lucky enough to hook up with someone who's like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll call you first for the cars I have to sell. Now, you want to make sure that you're telling that individual that you want to buy them wholesale. You're not looking to pay retail because you are in the game too, so you want to make some money. So just be upfront and honest, okay? So, and that's how I would handle that. That is how I handle that. Let me be honest. That is how I handle that. The reason why I handled it like that is I don't have time myself personally to go out here and buy junk cars. Number 2, I don't want to hire someone to go out here and buy junk cars. All right. And number 3, I have a really nice deal set up with a junk car guy in my area who tightens me up. So I'm not worried about making the $50. I'm not worried about not making the money from the cats or scrapping the car, because when it comes back to me and he calls me up and says, hey, I have, you know, these 10 cars, come take a look at them before I post them. And I love that phone call, right? Because not too many people are going out to a junk car guy and willing to buy their whole lot and one-shot deal. You know what I'm saying? So I might look at 10 cars and be like, yeah, you know, I'll do all 10 for $13,000, right? For argument's sake, like I'll do all 10 for 13 grand. They're looking at me like, holy shit, you know, I know I could get 20 for them, but I'm going to have to wait, set up appointments, etc., etc. This guy's got 13K cash. And we do business, right? And I know what they paid for him is a lot less, so they're still making money at 13. They're just not making retail money. I buy the whole lot, go through them. I know they run and drive, but like, you know, sometimes I need an alternator or window regulators or, you know, stupid stuff. I put it on my lot. So we just went over running the ad, right, for buying any cars. And we just went over getting into business with someone who actually buys junk cars. So you're not just throwing those fish back into the ocean. You're actually able to take them and make something out of it, whether it's cold hard cash or cars in the future that you'll make even more money from, okay? Now, number 2, this is the hard part. Come up with something super simple, right? Super simple. I have a domain name, and I don't believe I've used it. As a matter of fact, I may have let my friend use it for some time. Excuse me, it's 813cars.com. My area code is 813. So when I had purchased that .com years ago, it just made sense to me to have 813 as the area code, because everyone can remember 813. We live in 813. Cars. What are you looking for? Cars. And then .com. To me, I know I'm going to get some back and forth with this. I love .com. So with 813cars.com, you can put that on a billboard. You can put that on every single car. You can put that on license plates. It's a very simple .com to remember, okay? So try to come up with something very simple that everyone can remember and run it in your ads for junk cars. Do not use that .com for your retail cars, because the last thing someone wants to do is go to a dealership that also buys junk cars. Because what's going to end up happening is someone may come up with the thought, hey, all these cars may have been purchased as junk cars and they're just pieces of shit that are shined up, right? Sorry, I apologize, I cursed again. So try to have them run separate of each other, at least for advertising purposes. Also, another thing, and this is just, like a pro tip. When you come to the lot, try not to have your cars that are being worked on where a customer can see it. If you go to a lot of these nicer dealerships, you'll always notice, yes, they have repair bays, but they're usually off to the side. There's no secret. Cars break down. Okay, it's no secret. But what you don't want is some mechanic that's like got grease all over them and everything else, sitting on a car, tires off, transmissions out, engines out, like all this stuff that's going on. It's one thing to change out a light bulb. It's a whole nother thing to do some real mechanic work. But get yourself to .com. Okay, real simple. You can get yourself a website and get it hosted for probably less than $20 a month, okay? And you want to look at what it is that you specifically want. I believe that less is more, okay? And anytime that you can give an instant quote, that's even better. So do your homework, Google it, see what comes up for junk cars and instant quotes. Now, if you can't do that, have your phone number. Have a 24/7 number dedicated to that. So when you pick up that line, that phone rings, it's money, okay? So when my girlfriend had her dog here, and she has a husky, like a brown and white husky, but the hair is crazy, and I swear the dog hasn't been here in days, but I just still feel like the hair is like floating around and getting all in my nose and everything. And I'm not even allergic, but it's just like the nastiest. I don't understand how people, they're beautiful dogs. I just don't understand how people live with them. Anyways, not the point. And try to make it as simple as you can. So when that phone rings, it's money on the line. Boom. Hello? I buy wrecks. I buy cars. Whatever your thing is to get them going. Hey, what's up? I got a 2000, I always go to the 2008 Honda Accord. I got a 2008 Honda Accord. I blew my engine last night coming home. I ran through a puddle and I hydro-locked it. All right, what's the mileage on that thing? It's got 150 on it. All right. So in your head, you kind of already know what the parts are going to be. If you're not, you can say, bear with me for 2 minutes. Boom, you jump on your laptop, you go to car-part.com, you look and see what the engine is. You already have your labor guide, blah, 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 blah. Or you blind shoot. You just shoot out a number, right? Because you already know an '08 Accord with 150 on the clock is going to bring you upwards of $5,000 to $7,000. So if you're like, yeah, I can come pick it up right now, or I can pick it up first thing in the morning, how do you want to get paid? Do you have the title there now? Okay, what are you looking to get for this thing? With a blown motor, it's really not worth much more than scrap, but I happen to know someone that's looking for an interior, so I could definitely give you some more money, because what I'll do is I'll take the interior out of this car and sell it to him and then put his interior back in here, so this way I can still junk it. What are you trying to get out of this car? I'm thinking maybe like $1,000. All right, so I'm thinking more like 500, but I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm not saying no to 1,000. Why don't you let me come out there tomorrow, take a look at it, and just get a good feel for it, and we'll take it from there. You go out there the next day, you take a look at the car, and you give them 1,000 if it's worth 1,000 to you, or you offer 500 and you sell it at 750, or whatever the situation is that you work out. But before you go there, what I would do in my situation is, I would already know what the engine costs, and I would already know what the labor costs. So the engine I'm going to get from car-part.com. No affiliate links. I don't get paid to tell you that, okay? And I pay $12.50 a month for real-time labor guide. Real-time labor guide tells me the labor guide. It tells me what I'm going to pay in labor to have that engine swapped. And I always round it up to the nearest whole number, whole hour. Reason why I do that is so it doesn't matter. Now, I pay my mechanics what's called book time. So let's just say that engine called for 10 hours and I pay $50 an hour. I know it's $500. Let's just say the motor costs $1,500. So $1,500 for the engine, $500 for labor. I'm at $2,000. If I gave the guy $1,000, I'm at $3,000 all in for the car. I know it goes for 5 to 7, so I know in my head it's a win. Okay, so I'm not scared of that car. I'll even pay him the $1,000 if I can't negotiate down, depending on the condition of the car. Again, we're thinking that it's got the, you know, all the bells and whistles, the body's straight, you know, that's the mileage is on point. It's not a odometer rollback. It's not a salvage title. You know, again, we're assuming that this car is in decent condition. If not, you start negotiating from there. But without those tools I just mentioned, you're really just shooting from the hip. Or you can actually just buy that car, and let's just say you paid $1,000 for it. You bought the car for $1,000 from that guy. You do nothing to it, which is something that I have, and I'll make a video about that car as well. You do nothing to it, and you just run an ad. Needs engine, $2,000, right? And you sell it the next day. Someone comes and says, I'll give you 17 for it. Okay, it's $700 that you made from one day to the next. Remember the beginning of this video, what I said, money comes to money. If you don't position yourself in life, and I hate to say it again, where you have that money to put out there, you would never have been able to even make that $700 profit, okay? So again, guys, what I'm trying to tell you is this is bigger than buying cars. This is bigger than all that shit. This channel is really at its core about helping people look at money and learn about finances in a whole different light. I'm a street dude. You know what I'm saying? I have a career, but in my head, I'm really nothing more than, you know, a regular dude from the street. I don't have $1 million investors backing me up. My daddy wasn't rich and hand me a car dealership, and I didn't lie to you guys about it, right? I don't buy cars at a loss to sell them back because I'm some huge YouTuber. And these might all be shots fired. I don't care. Take it how you're living. You feel me? Like that's just how I'm living. And they might not be anything. If you feel like you're one of those people that I spoke to and you took offense to it, so be it. But with that being said, for my other ones that are watching, understand every time you got money or you make some money, you have a decision to blow it or to put it away or put some of it away for the opportunities that come up to you, right? Because here's another little story for you. If you're hanging out and you're with all your boys or all your people, right? And someone comes up to you and says, hey, I want to sell this iPhone 13 Pro Max. I'm just using a small thing now, okay? You know that this phone sells on Facebook or whatever for $1,000, hypothetically speaking, right? It's unlocked, it works, it turns on, you put your SIM card in it, it worked, the whole 9 yards. It's a legit Apple phone. This individual, for whatever reason, wants $500 for the phone. They owe no money on it, like I said, it's factory unlocked and everything works. No one there has $500, but you do. You take that $500 out, you buy that phone, you take a couple pictures of your phone, boom, 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 boom. You put it on Facebook right there on the spot. It's in your pocket, it's charged up, it's good to go, you know it works. You put it up for $1,100. Someone calls you up, hey, I'll give you $1,000 for it. Where can I meet you? You can meet me here. Okay, you just turned your 500 into 1,000 in a day. Okay, again, if you did not have that money, that opportunity would have went to the next individual. That's all I'm trying to get across here. Back to dealing with people. So that's where I'm trying to get at. You have a website going. So this way, people are also maybe trying to hit up the website as well. The majority of your business is going to come from people that are going to find you on Facebook and Craigslist, okay? With that being said, is it competitive? You're damn right it's competitive. I'm your competitor right here. You're looking at a competitor. You are watching a competitor. You buy and sell cars. What do you think, that you're the only person that buys and sells cars? Every business is competitive. It's capitalism. Without competition, there is no growth, okay? You have to get better at what you do, which means the dollars that you're throwing out there have to be ready. Have to be better than the next person who's saying it. And in my spiel, I have two cars right now that I'm going to pick up today from my ad, okay? One of them has a blown motor. One of them runs and drives. I'm going to be honest with you. I went to go look at a Jaguar uh, Friday, a few days ago, okay? It was like the black one that I had, supercharged, not the 5.0. It was the 4.2. They represented it one way. The guy wanted $4,000 for it. He said that the CAT system was out. So the CAT system is a suspension system. It's a module that goes under the passenger seat. With those cars, they're notorious for leaking. And the modules that are under the seat, the one in the driver's seat does the radio, which controls everything in that fucking car, in that freaking car. The one in the passenger seat controls the suspension. So what happens is when that one goes out, the suspension is like rock hard. Dun, 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 dun. It's not floaty like a car that has bad suspension. It just is so overinflated that it's rock hard. That hair, I don't know what's in my mind or what. So anyway, so I go out there, I look at it, with Leroy. The car starts and it runs fine. Okay, the car's running fine. All of a sudden it develops a miss. The owner, who can't speak English, has an interpreter there because I can't speak Spanish. So they're going back and forth trying to tell me what it is. Now, I knew I was in trouble because the interpreter was his wife. And men versus women, I have a harder time dealing with women because with women, I have to give it up to them. They get a dollar amount in their head and they will not negotiate. They don't care if everything you're saying to them makes sense. That is the only thing they know is that dollar amount. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I wish I had that. My girlfriend has it. I tell her I want $4,000 for a car. They can come up to her with $39.50 and she's like, nope. I want $4,000. Me, I'm like, what's $50? Let's do it. Let's move the unit, right? Bro, she gets that $4,000 though. Maybe not for them, but for the next person. So anyway, we're going through the car. The car needs paint. It needs a headlight. The interior was in good shape. The dashboard was shot. Now, when I say interior, I mean seats, okay? The seats are in good shape. The dashboard was so bad that on a Jaguar, they put that thing, like that carpet up there, like that you normally see on like the old Silverados and the Tahoes, right? They put that up there. So I already knew that the dashboard shot. Now, I already had one. So I know the dashboard's going to run me $300. The suspension at most was going to run me $1,100. If I couldn't get that module to work, I would have just swapped it out for coilover suspension with the wiring set up so that it fools the car into thinking that it knows. Okay, and then it needed paint on top of everything else. The car needed paint, but the biggest thing was they did not tell me that the radio doesn't work. So I already knew that it needed the module underneath the driver's side. So here I am looking at this car, knowing what it's going to take to get this thing in sellable condition, right? The mileage was like in the 120s, but on the title, the guy had wrote down like 130 from 2 or 3 years ago when I did the Carfax. So it's got 123 on the clock, 130,000 on the title from 3 years ago. All right. So I'm telling the seller, I'm like, it doesn't make sense. Well, it's not odometer rollback per Carfax. It's hard to tell someone what you're trying to tell me that, oh yeah, they just didn't know the mileage. So they just wrote 130,000 miles. So now I need to tell someone that story. And then I got to tell someone that it gained no mileage in 3 years. Like the whole thing is super sketch, right? So, I mean, clearly I know what happened. A novice who's probably in the car game swapped out the dashboard or rolled the odometer back, didn't realize that it was at 130, sold this individual who bought the car this story and they fell for it. They went for it, bought the car, didn't know what they were buying and how much money it costs to maintain a Jaguar XF supercharged. Like that car is a labor of love. Like you're either going to love that car and spend money on it or you're going to shoot it a bunch of times and be done with it. Because if you don't love that car, the amount of money you're going to spend putting into it, it's just not worth it. You have to love those cars. So I offer the guy, here we go. listen, I already know what it is. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to give you $2,000 for the car. Take it or leave it. You know what I mean? So now they're at 4,000. I just hit them with 2,000. I thought it was a fair offer. So they come back and right away they go like, nope, I can't do it. I'll do $3,000. I'll do $3,000. So right now, we're already knocked $1,000 off. I know this car at $3,000 is borderline worth it. Borderline. So I'm going back and forth in my head. I'm like, what, $3,000? You know, maybe I could do it. I'm thinking, and I'm like, listen, you know. And then they tell me, look, I just want to get the money out of the car. I don't want to lose. I said, I appreciate that. I don't want to lose either because I know what it's going to take to get this car running and driving, even though it was running and driving, but you understand what I'm saying. So I hit him with I tell you what, let's split the difference. Let's do $2,500. I'll take the car as is. I'll take it off your hands. Oh, and it had a transmission code, which, by the way, it didn't have a transmission code on those Jaguars. It says transmission error on one of the alerts that pop up on the dashboard. So it's not like you have to plug anything in. No, it's there in your face, okay? So, and again, I believe that was because of the module. I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe it was because of the module because the car ran and drove and went through all of its gears. So they took some time with it, went back and forth, you know, having their little conversations. And I could see that the guy was like 80% down to take the offer, but he did not. He did not. The wife said no. She wants $3,000. She's not willing to take a loss. God bless her. At that point, I said, all right, deal's over. I'm not paying $3,000 for it, mainly because of the title discrepancy. I don't want to explain that to someone, and I certainly don't want to be wrapped up with any sort of odometer fraud or odometer tampering. And definitely not for something someone else did 2 owners ago. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they never even signed a title, so they're flipping a car. Anyways, the reason why I tell you that story is because there are going to be situations like that where you are going to go and show up and nothing's going to pan out. And you just have to know that that's part of the game. Guys, I apologize it took so long with this video. You know I'm long-winded and my ADHD does not help. But I do hope you guys gain some knowledge from this. Run your ads for buying cars. Run them every day. Run them 3 times a day. Excuse me. Get multiple email addresses. Get multiple Facebook accounts. Do whatever it is you have to do to make sure that when someone looks up junk car or you know looking to sell my car, that your ad comes up, and not only your ad comes up, multiple of your ads come up. So it really looks as though you're a lot bigger than you are. This next thing I'm going to say to you is kind of scary. Get yourself a place that's accessible 24 hours a day, whether it's your home, I don't suggest, your shop, a family member's home that you trust, and start putting whatever dollar amount of money you need to put in there, because when banks close, you're only able to get out a certain amount of money, okay? So with that being said, you need cash on hand, but generally speaking, as a rule of thumb, don't keep it at your home because you don't want to increase the chances of someone breaking down your door because you have cash on you. So try to leave it someplace else, okay? Yes, it makes a little bit of a pain in the ass. You know, you might have to go 2 towns over, pick up some money, and then go handle your business. But trust me, it's a lot better than always walking around with $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 in your pocket. It's a lot better than having someone sneak up behind you with a 45 telling you run your shit, all right? So with that being said, always take care of yourself, stay safe. Guys, I'm going to go. I apologize about this video being so long. I really do hope that it's helping you guys. And now is the time, because people are, I don't care what they say about tax time. There's a group of people that always buy cars every single year around tax time with their returns. Those people always get return money. Those people will always buy a newer car every single year. It's just what they've done since forever, okay? Those people, unfortunately, don't understand financial education. So if they did understand financial education, they probably wouldn't need a new car every year, because they would buy a less flashy car and more reliable car this year. And next year, when they get their return, they would use that money to invest. those people, that general group of people, are going to buy cars this year. They're going to be coming to dealerships with the car that they bought last year to trade in. If you can get that in between, you can get between them buying the new car and trading in their old one and you buying the old car. I mean, ideally, you're the dealer that's getting both, right? But if you're not, at least you can get the money from them from buying the trade-in car, okay? You can even run ads with something in there that says, I pay the most, you know? Call me from the dealership. I will give you $500 over their written down trade-in. I will pay you $500 over the trade-in amount. So that means if they're at Toyota and they have a 07 Camry and Toyota's offering them $1,500 for it, you're calling them, they're calling you like, oh yeah, I remember this guy. Hey, you know, they just offer, yeah, I can be there in 10 minutes. I'll be there in 20 minutes. I'll be there in a half hour. I have your money. Don't even worry. I'm on the way now. Don't say anything to the sales guy. Just tell them that you're just going to put down $2,000 in cash instead of trading in your car. Or just don't even say anything. I'll be there. When you get there, you call them. They come outside. They already have the title because they're going to trade it in. Boom, 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 boom. Here's your $2,000, and you drive off with the car. Usually trade-ins from franchise dealers are really good. Guys, I can go on for hours talking about how to make money buying cars. And it'll be one huge video that no one will watch to the end. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you subscribe. Hopefully you learned something. Change your whole mindset. I could tell if you're watching these videos already, you already have some sort of mindset where you want to make money on your money, at least with cars, and honestly, truly help somebody else out, man. You know what I'm saying? Like if you see someone that you're down with and they're not looking at money like an asset, but they're looking at it as a liability, not money, but what you can do with it, try to help them understand that the only way to truly build wealth is to have money, okay? I know it sounded super stupid and redundant, but what I mean is you can't invest and make money off of your money if you don't have it. And that's why I made that video about leveraging your credit. I'll probably do another one right now because the holidays just passed. Everyone had credit card offers. There's still a lot of them out there. Citibank right now, CITI, has a great offer going on right now where if you get one of their cards, I forget which one it is because I actually just got it. I mean, look at this. I got a stack here of like, you know, credit card offers. You know what I mean? So it's just ridiculous. So with the CITI card, they're giving you till it's 21 months actually. And again, this is an affiliate link. You're gonna have to Google it. It's 21 months interest free. Now they are going to charge you 5% up front. Not a big deal, but let's just say you were able to get, hypothetically speaking, I mean, I want to make it for everybody. So let's just say a $10,000 credit limit, right? And they don't let you take out the full credit limit. So let's just say they let you take out $9,500, and you know, because with the 5% is $500, so you would max it out. And again, we're not worried about your credit report at this point. We're worried about making money. So you get that. So you leverage that credit card for $9,500. You put that in your pocket. You put it in the street, and you start making money with their money. You pay it back, and the goal is when it's done to have almost $20,000 in the course of hopefully a year. Hopefully with a $9,500 loan, you don't take out the full 21 months. You get it done in 12. I gotta go. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching.
That's my best friend.